You can't break me, I got iron bones. My ground game will leave your mind blown. I'm ready to fight in any time zone. I'm the greatest, you can call me John Jones. Knocking clowns out like I'm Steve Pay. We can even fight on the freeway. I'ma leave him bloody right where he lay. This is the Fighters Replay.
Hey guys, welcome to the Fighters Replay. I'm one of your co-hosts, Robert.
I'm Caitlin.
And tonight we got a special guest joining us.
What up, guys? My name's Cameron. I met these two at a karate combat event, so I'm excited to give my input today.
Shout out Karate Combat.
Awesome.
Let's go. All right, so today we got the discussion of Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia. I want to get started with your thoughts on this, Cameron.
I mean, can you think of that many other fights in the sport right now that are more heated, more combative, more close, more hype than these two right here? Because, especially after the fallout with the Tyson Usyk card, this is what boxing needs right now. These two crazy talented fighters in the primes of their careers going at it, not even for any belts or anything, just pure legacy glory and for the sake of the sport.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment.
Yeah, it's a crazy moment for boxing. The heavyweights have carried boxing for a long time, but I feel like this is the era where lightweights are beginning to take over. It's starting to, put on the shows with people like Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, Ortiz, all of them, Isaac Cruz to be for another example. It's really crazy, man. But I'm so excited for it. I feel like this is gonna be such a great year for boxing. The only thing that can make it any better is if we could see Terrence Crawford versus Spence Jr. But that's a conversation for another day.
I'm really excited about this fight. I think no matter which way it ends, I think it's gonna go down into the history books of one of the greater fights of our time, especially of this generation. Like you guys said before, two fighters in their prime fighting up against each other. Both are undefeated. One of them's gonna go home and they're gonna get their zero taken away, and it's probably gonna change these fighters. This fight is gonna change both of these fighters for the better or for the worse. They both have really impressive records. They both have some extremely tough opponents that they have persevered through and come out with a dub on top. So I can't wait to see, honestly, just how this night is going to go. I don't have too much of I'm leaning towards one or the other. I've been back and forth since the minute they announced this card of who I think is going to win, just because, I can honestly see it going any way, and I wouldn't be disappointed by any outcome. Do you guys have any specific person that you for sure think is gonna win, or without a doubt? Or
Tank Davis all day. I feel as if Tank Davis is the best lightweight in boxing currently. I don't feel that Devin Haney is on his level, which I do hope that that's a future bout that gets announced one day. But I just feel like at this current moment, I feel as if Tank Davis is the best lightweight in the world right now. I don't feel as any other lightweights are on his level. And I think this is not going to be easy for him. I do think the physicality of Ryan Garcia is going to weigh a lot on him. It's going to take him some time to adjust. But, I feel like Tank, he's battle tested, man. This guy has gone up against some really impressive competition already, which he has a resume that I at least feel like is way better than Ryan Garcia's resume.
Yeah. I will say his opponents do seem to be a bit tougher, and they seem to go into a much higher pace of a fight with Davis than what Ryan has experienced inside of the ring. Ryan has had some really good fights, don't get me wrong, and he does display his speed. He's a great fighter, but I do have to agree with you on this one, Rob. I do think Tank's resume is just a little bit more impressive than what Ryan's is.
What do you got on this, Cameron?
Well, that's where the interesting part of the discussion is going to come, because I am of the opinion that Ryan's going to take this fight. Now, although I can somewhat agree that Tank's record is more impressive, we also have to think about the fact that it has gone on a little bit longer. But in that same vein, Ryan has fought almost the exact same amount of people in like 3 years less than the time, I believe, is when Ryan started his pro career. And looking at the matchup, I think that there's a lot of questions that are going to get answered because there's so many unknowns in how this fight's going to go.
True.
We've seen Tank take on people with the speed of Ryan and the power of Ryan, but I don't know if he's ever fought somebody that has both like Ryan. The speed and the power put together. I mean, we saw like a simple body shot, just a body shot to Luke Campbell brought him to his knees. And we've seen things like
Luke Campbell trash, bro. Nobody care about Luke Campbell, bro. I don't care about him, bro.
Luke Campbell was 20-3 though when he faced Garcia. A record like that, you got to be doing something right though.
Yeah.
There was a reason why they placed him up against Ryan at that time.
Cherry pick. It happens all the time in cherry pick. It's one of the biggest reasons. Being undefeated in boxing doesn't mean anything anymore because everybody's always cherry picking their fights. So, because apparently, being undefeated is basically the only way that you can, become a big household name. In reality, that's not the answer. I think that the fans just truly realize that they just want entertaining ass fights.
I would agree, but then wouldn't you say that? How could you say Ryan cherry picked this opponent? Because he's been calling for this Tank fight for a very long time. Now, obviously, he hasn't been ready for it up to this point. We have to acknowledge. But no one has been to the level of Tank in Ryan's repertoire. And I don't think anybody's arguing that. But we have to bring these things together. Especially one things that build up to this fight that has aggravated me the most, I have to say, is that people keep saying Ryan's defense is not there. Now, I will admit his defense needs work. Everybody's defense needs work. Nobody's going to be Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's the greatest defensive boxer of all time. Everybody can say that.
Without
no matter how you feel about the guy.
If you don't think so, then you just don't know boxing at all.
Exactly. But I think that there's a level of people aren't looking at some things that having not Floyd level defense does for you. You get your chin tested. For example, he got knocked down against Luke Campbell. Should he have blocked that shot? Should he have dodged that shot? Obviously, that would have been the perfect game plan. But he got hit and he got right back up into the fight and brought it home. And that is something that you can't even really teach. I don't know if Tank's ever been put in a position like that before, but Ryan has, and we know he got up from it.
Okay, so I want to intertwine in this and say that, I think that Tank Davis has overcome adversity. I think that Ryan got knocked down from his own inexperience. I don't think truly that was a moment of, truly rising up from the ashes. I feel like it was just a shot where he got caught off balance. I don't think he's ever been in them deep waters. You remember the Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz fight, and I think he broke his hand around in the 10th round, and in the 10th round, I think he stopped throwing the right hand. And he won the rest of that fight off of just jabs and beautiful boxing. I think that Tank has fought, coming from the more dangerous opponents, I feel like he's been way more battle tested than Ryan has. And like you said, Ryan hasn't ever faced anybody that's on this level, right? But I do think that this is a situation where you got to be careful what you wish for. You want that legacy? Boy, he asking for it, man. He's asking for it,
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really big test for Ryan because this could be the biggest win of his career.
It is.
And ultimately change things for his name and fast track him into being this world champion boxer that he wants to be.
Absolutely.
Or it can bring him down and he takes a loss and nobody really knows yet how he would respond to that. And we can say that for both boxers. We don't know how either one of them are going to respond to a loss. So the amount of pressure that both of these boxers have in general just for their legacy is crazy. But I just wanted to back off of a point of what you guys were saying earlier. I agree with Robbie. I think that Gervonta is just a bit more battle tested than what Ryan is, as far as like crazy exchanges and almost damn near brawls. I think Gervonta has been in that situation a little bit more, and I believe that he's a bit more comfortable in that situation. We saw him face Mario Barrios he won to a body shot as well. We're speaking about Davis here, and that was a pretty solid win. I mean, that was an undefeated dude when he went up against him, and he had the height, he had, all of the kind of glory things that I think a lot of people see Ryan having as well. Of course, I don't think Barrios compares to Ryan's speed nor strength. I mean, Ryan's speed is just unmatched. I don't think anybody has quite seen hands as fast as that. I mean, that one video of that right hook, man, you can't even see that in 4K. You physically have to slow down the video to even see how he got knocked out. So we don't really know too much about how far Ryan can go, but I do have faith that he will be able to maintain a good pace throughout the entire fight if it does go the distance. One thing that I do want to bring to attention with that being said is the urgency that Gervonta needs to come out with, because like you said, Ryan is most lethal in those early rounds. So, we do have to take into considerations that both fighters could win. This could go either way. So we have to respect both fighters, say, okay, we know Ryan's going to probably come swinging out the gate. He's fast. He's going to try to get his shots in early. He's hoping to control this fight as early as possible, get it done with, and end the night early. Tank, however, is prepared for any outcome that comes, whether that's Garcia just slamming him for the first 2 or 3 rounds of, just letting him wear out his energy, or, bringing it the full round. So we're really going to see, but I really do hope that Gervonta comes out of that corner swinging with a lot of urgency, because if he tries to figure him out a little bit too much and just take his time and be a little patient like how he can be with others, I admire that about Davis. But if he takes too much time with Garcia might just find an opening and land one. I literally cannot wait. Like I was telling Robbie earlier, I don't think I'm going to believe that it's happening until both of those guys are in the ring and the first bell rings.
I still don't believe it. I still don't believe it. I don't care
if this is crazy, man.
I don't care if there's a podcast, man. I don't care that I'm seeing the workout videos. I do not believe that this fight is happening until I see both of them literally in the ring and the ref says go. I'm tired. I'm not letting boxing break my heart again, bro. I'm not letting boxing do that to me.
That is a fair point. I mean, can we even really recall a fight of this level, of this caliber? I mean, the only one I can think of in recent memory would be Floyd versus Conor. But is that even really what you want to consider when discussing this level of boxing?
Yeah, that's not even.
I would consider it a big fight, but that's an MMA guy and a world-class boxer. While that is a huge name fight, I don't think it's to the level of like true boxing as what this is. This is truly representing the sport of boxing, like, and solely boxing, not like MMA plus boxing, if that makes sense.
Can't even say for Floyd versus Pacquiao. I can't even say that was like one of the biggest in recent memory, just because of the timing. It's just, I would have, but I feel like that if that fight were to happen, I felt like it should have happened sooner. Just like how some people could say, the Canelo Floyd fight should have happened later. But originally, I feel like people are always just gonna find a way to make excuses for some people, though, regardless.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's beautiful about this fight, is that there aren't any, unless, Lord forbid, Gervonta or Ryan or someone breaks a leg in the next 3 days. Then these guys in their prime, they're undefeated, and there's nothing wrong other than the fact that they made a mistake in that ring or beforehand.
Man, if that were to happen, somebody break their leg, hey man, Oscar De La Hoya, if you listening, bro, I don't mind getting knocked out for a few milli, man. Just slide me a couple thousand, bro, and I would not mind, bro.
I'll be the backup fighter.
Oh God, I'll absolutely, bro. You gonna weigh in as my backup? I will absolutely take a right hook to the chin and get knocked the fuck out in front of billions of people for a couple grand, bro. I'll take that body shot from Ryan Garcia, bro.
I actually wanted to propose a question to both of you that I think is almost more interesting than the pure physicality things we've seen of it. Is that we know the classic strategy of both Ryan and Gervonta. Ryan likes to go out, swing for the fences, fast, power, drop them. We know that. And Gervonta likes to take the approach of slowly deconstructing his opponent's game plan over the course of a fight, usually taking it in like the later rounds.
Beautiful.
But I'm wondering if either of you think that either of those strategies will change for this fight, and how do you think it'll affect the outcome?
Man, that would be hilarious if both of them came out like each other, playing each other's game. That would be one hell of a fucking... I do think their games are going to change a little bit. I don't think that they're going to approach, either one of these fighters are going to approach this fight how they are approaching their other fights. Davis is probably going to go in there and still probably look around and, you know, look for his openings and take things a little slower. But like I said earlier, I do hope he comes out with just a little bit more urgency. Hopefully just to beat, you know, kind of just keep up with Ryan's pace, or if not beat Ryan's pace that he puts out. With that being said, like we said, we don't know what Ryan is going to do. We haven't seen him at this, you know, big of a fight, you know, this big of an opponent. So I don't know whether he's going to stick to his own game and be confident and stand in his own shoes, or if he's going to try to, you know, switch it up a little bit, because this is a bigger opponent per se.
If the game plan changes for both fighters, I feel like the fight is still gonna rule in Tank's favor, because I feel like it's naturally gonna boil down to one thing. I feel like for a fact, or at least in my opinion, that Tank just has more natural boxing skill than Ryan Garcia. So what I feel like it would really be boiling down to, you know, take apart the game plans, is Ryan Garcia being a absolute fucking physical specimen versus Gervonta Tank's skills. And I feel like even the most calculated person could take down Goliath. You know, does that make sense? Can I get a final prediction of how this fight's gonna go for you guys? I'm going with Tank Davis, 10th round TKO.
I'm gonna say Tank 8th round TKO.
I'm gonna go with, Ryan by knockout in the 5th round.
Knockout. So you think he's gonna get what? Hold on. So you think he's gonna get knocked? So we're not talking TKO. You think he's putting him to sleep, like like Alex Pereira sleep?
Well, because if Ryan would win by any kind of knockout, I don't think he could just pelt Tank, and because if he didn't put everything into a shot against Tank, he's obviously going to get up. But if he is going to win in that style, I don't think he can do that other than go the distance.
So you think he's gonna actually?
A solid point.
Hold up. So you think he's actually going? I don't care. You think that he is going to send him to sleep, bro?
That I do, my friend.
You think Gervonta Davis, of all people, is gonna be posted up as a meme, sleeping on the bed like Alex and T. Woodley was?
Yep.
Oh my god.
I invited to the slumber party, my friend.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bruh. We gonna find out, bruh. We gonna find out. And when I text you after fucking Ryan's down on the ground crying because he lost, I'm gonna text you, Goofy. I got you, bro. You better remember this, man.
Hey, I remember it, bro. But
hey,
so two great fighters coming together on Saturday. That's all we can really hope for.
Honestly, both of these fighters gonna get a round of applause either way it goes, and I appreciate both of these fighters for giving boxing the push that it needs.
Absolutely.
Any final thoughts?
The only note. I think that's the only note that we should leave it on, man. We've got a great boxing match coming up this weekend. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let us know what you guys think in the comments. If you guys have any differing or same opinions, let us know. Big special shout out to our guest here, Mr. Boxing Pro Cameron, right here. Dude is a beast. Thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate you last second, and we got to do something soon, because we got to have you back on here. But yeah, follow us, and peace.
If you hate Ryan, spam it in the chat. Peace.
You can't break me, I got iron. iron bones. My ground game will leave your mind blown. I'm ready to fight in any time zone. I'm the greatest, you can call me John Jones. Knocking clowns out like I'm Steve Pay. We can even fight on the freeway. I'ma leave him bloody right where he lay. This is the Fighters Replay.